Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Your Friend David. I'm your host, your friend David Caskey, and every other Sunday I like to openly discuss my own personal issues or just talk about anything else on my mind in hopes it will encourage you, the viewer, to feel more comfortable doing the same as well. And I'm doing well. I'm doing the best I've been doing in my life right now, and I hope you guys are all doing well. As you can see, my physical appearance has definitely changed, and there's definitely been an update to that. In the last 5 or 6 months or so, I've lost close to 50 pounds now, and that's been amazing, building my confidence, building my self-esteem, and helping me just improve and go throughout my life as a physically healthy person. It's very important that you are physically healthy. So if you're not, or maybe you're on the fence about going to the gym or on the fence about going to the doctors, I recommend you doing those things because it's very, very important that you do, and it's very, very important that you take care of yourself. This week on this episode, I want to revisit mental health. Some of you may or may not know, but on December 31st through January 10th, I was hospitalized at Brooklyn Behavioral Hospital in Fort Washington. At the time, we didn't know what caused it. We didn't know why. I fought my way out of there because the doctor hadn't seen me. I was not diagnosed with anything, so I was fighting my way out to be discharged. Following that, I made an episode discussing my mental health. What those of you may not know is I did not follow through at Pendale Mental Health Center, where I received outpatient therapy services. I was supposed to do an APH program, which I'm currently enrolled in now. I was supposed to see a psychiatrist, which I never did, but I have done, and I'm currently taking medications. And I was supposed to follow up with a caseworker to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, due to my own fault and my want to smoke weed, I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball very hard, and on May 1st, I was admitted back into Lower Bucks Hospital, Lower Bucks Crisis Center, I should say, because I had a similar episode of what I now know to be psychosis, and that is a symptom of major depression. In this episode, I'm going to pretty much talk about my hospitalization, talk about my triggers, and again, get up to speed with when I was diagnosed and now what I'm doing to change that. And we're going to have other episodes in the future to discuss my disorder and discuss psychosis, but I want to let you all know that I'm doing very well. I was diagnosed with a mental health disorder, and I'm living with that, and I'm coping with that, and I'm making plans to work to my strengths and make sure that I'm not hospitalized again, and make sure I seek the treatment that I need, and make sure that Kenny stops messing with me on the left here, because he's doing very interruptive things right now, and I don't appreciate it. So we're going to continue on with this episode. After seeing Avengers on April 27th, I came home. It was 1 in the morning, April 28th, and I had recently unsuppressed some thoughts and feelings about myself, about some things that I was struggling with. I'm not going to get into that. I know I like to openly discuss my own personal issues, but it's okay for people to have secrets, and it's okay for people to keep some things to themselves, and that I discuss with my therapist and my social worker and my caseworker. So for those of you who are wondering why I'm not going to go into that, it's because I'm dealing with that my own way, and it's important for me to keep that to myself, and I'm sharing that with several of my friends who I know will be supportive of me and keep an open mind to some of the things I'm dealing with. So excessive cannabis use combined with unsuppressing thoughts and feelings and my emulated behavior, which I'm going to be doing an episode later on down the road about emulated behavior and what I believe to think that is. I believe that to be the cause of my episode of psychosis, and that's what led me into the hospital. My first experience in the hospital was not that great. This one, the first couple days I was there, when you're still paranoid, when you're still thinking and having these racing negative thoughts, you struggle. You struggle with opening up in therapy, and you struggle with trusting people and talking to people, and that's not who I am. I like to openly discuss my own personal issues. I like to be outgoing. I like to be friendly. So my first couple days in there were very foggy. Fortunately, this time I did cooperate with the staff. I did take my medications, and the psychiatrist there was way better than the one at Brooklyn. I met with her every day there. So I was diagnosed properly. I also want to discuss that following those first couple days in there, when I started taking my meds, when the weed got out of my system, I started doing way better, and I felt like I was making a difference in there. I felt like I was helping people in there also suffering from mental disorders. I was opening up in groups. I was cooperating. I was talkative. I was friendly. I was nice. I was me, just in the hospital. And those of you that know me know that I can be friends with anybody. I'm friends with so many people, and I've brought a lot of my friends together, and I've made a lot of people friends that wouldn't have met before or wouldn't have known each other or warmed up to each other like the way that I've been able to make them do that. So that's what I was doing in the hospital there following the first couple days when I was still foggy. I was reading some literature in there about psychosis, about major depression, and I was able to identify my symptoms and identify my triggers and be able to ground myself in reality. Grounding techniques, for those of you that don't know, are for people that experience episodes of psychosis or schizophrenia. They use grounding techniques to stop questioning their reality. When you begin to question your reality in the way that you do when you're paranoid, you create these false realities that become what you think is real. You know, I'm a very grounded person, so when I go to these facilities and they have a Monopoly board, it makes me paranoid at first. But I'm so clear-minded, and Monopoly is such a defined game, and it's part of me, it's part of who I am. You can see it behind me, you can see it all around me. I was able to play Monopoly with some of the patients there and try and warm up and try and be myself in there, and that's kind of what helped me following my discharge. And I wasn't there as long as I was at Brooklyn because I did get healthy faster. I did identify my symptoms. I did identify my triggers. And I'm working on that now following my discharge from Lower Bucks Behavioral or Lower Bucks Crisis Center. I'm currently working on that at Pendel Mental Health Center, where I was previously receiving outpatient therapy services. I'm currently involved in a program there called Acute Partial Hospitalization, or APH abbreviated. What that is a 10-day probation program. I'm going to be doing it for a month. It's Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It is 6 group therapies every hour. There's different group therapies. There's stress, anger, and anxiety. There's stress and anxiety therapy. There's an anger management therapy. There's a peer support therapist, which I'm going to be doing another episode later on down the line about that as well, because I plan on getting certified. I'm going to be becoming a CPS, certified peer specialist. That's my goal. That's my short-term goal, or my goal for next year to do. I'm becoming a more goal-oriented person. I'm becoming more focused, and I'm becoming more organized. And I believe that to be the effects of my medications working. I was depressed since high school. This is hard for me to open up, but I will share this. I was suicidal not suicidal in high school, but I had suicidal thoughts in high school, and not because I was selfish, but because I was suffering. And I don't like to use my disorder as a crutch, and it just makes me uncomfortable talking about it, but I should share it because it's important for you guys to know. That after high school, while I was in high school, I thought about killing myself following my graduation, because I didn't want to be a burden on my family, and I felt like my life was going to go nowhere. And I believe that my hospitalization and APH is not providing me with a purpose in life, and that is to use my mental disorder to fight stigmatism and to also help others going through similar experiences. And that's one of the reasons why I started this show. So I want you all to know that currently I'm involved in the APH program for the next month or so, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I will still continue to be working at Lee's. I love that job. They've been very supportive throughout this process. They have been nothing but supportive and willing to work with my schedule, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to work with, and I couldn't ask for a better group of friends, and I couldn't ask for a better family. Currently, right now, I'm struggling with some family issues. That's causing me a lot of stress in my life, but I'm working on focusing on myself and understanding that I cannot control. There are some situations out of my control. I cannot help those who need help. I can help those who want help. And not to say anybody in my family needs help, but as a general quote, how I plan to live my life is, there are people that want help, that need help, and those are the people you should focus on, and those are the people you should keep in your life, those who value you and appreciate you, and my family does. But right now, I want to focus on myself and do what I feel is best for me, and understand that we might have our differences, but I don't want that to negatively affect my relationship with my family, despite they may see things differently than I do, and that's okay, because everybody's like that, and everybody's different. I just don't want it to come between myself and some of my family members, and I know it won't. I know they're here for me, and I know they support me, and their intentions are good, and their hearts are in the right place, and that's really, at the end of the day, all I can ask for, and that's really all that matters. So now that we've covered all of that, What's next? I think it's viewer fan mail. Actually, I think we got some viewer fan mail to get this lighthearted, to get this back to the funny side of things. We're gonna be doing some viewer fan mail, and I'm waiting for this letter to come in. And oh, hey Tyler,
Hey.
You finally showed up.
See ya.
All right, see you later. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. All right, so we got a new envelope here, thanks to Tyler, viewer fan mail, DBW sticker envelope here, and we gotta see what's inside here. Okay, so this is actually a message from Tyler himself. What does Tyler write? Tyler writes today. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to discuss this, but I think I'm going to because he writes, what was David's 14th birthday titty bash? Well, a lot of my friends may not know about this. I know it's mostly with my brother's friends, but when I turned 14, or that summer of 2010, that's when I got really, really close with my brother, my oldest brother, Max, and he's done a lot for me, and he supports me, and he continues to support me to this day. And a lot of his friends I've made friends with back then, and that stems from the summer of 2010. He would have parties here every Friday night, and they were probably the most fun I think we've ever had in our lives. I think that was such an amazing time to be living in this house and for him to be home. I think that was the summer going into his senior year of college, or maybe the summer going into his master's. I think it was him before he went into his master's program. But Aziz Ansari does some stand-up, and he does stand-up as a character. I think it's from Funny People, the Adam Sandler movie, where he was Randy. And one of his quotes was, "I'm just trying to see some titties." No offense to anybody with titties out there. I formerly had titties. They're subsiding right now. And as a 14-year-old young male adult, I was enthralled with women's breasts. So we threw a party. Like most parties, there's a $5 cover. And for some of the women guests who showed up, they could flash a young 14-year-old David in exchange for free entry into this party. It's funny to think about now. I don't know if I should have stated that, but it happened. It was real, and it was fucking awesome. And anyone was there that would tell you that was probably one of the best parties they've ever been to. So that's what David's 14th birthday titty bash was. Maybe I'll have my brother on as a guest to talk about that and talk about that summer, and to have the poster. I made a poster. It's probably one of the best posters. Tyler, come back on here for a second, because you know the homeschool dropouts with the. What did you think of that poster?
It's a good poster.
Thank you. Tyler will be appearing on an episode of Your Friend David in the future to discuss the history of DBW and what DBW stands for and kind of all of that stuff. And I'm able to roll into upcoming episodes of Your Friend David. And so I'm going to be discussing what major depression and psychosis is. I plan to discuss coping skills and grounding techniques. I plan to discuss emulated behavior, and I think the next episode after this is going to be the history of DBW. We're going to take it back to some lighthearted content. So Tyler's going to be doing that with me. Maybe we could do every Sunday. I don't know. We're working on it. I hope to roll out content, but Kenny tells me since I've just got out of the hospital, I need to slow down, and I plan on doing that. I plan on taking my family's advice and my friends' advice, taking it one day at a time, and understanding that I can do a lot and I have the potential for greatness, but Rome wasn't built in a day. My mom texted me tonight, and I gotta remember that. But part of me doesn't want to lose this momentum. Part of me doesn't want to wake up tomorrow and not want to do all the things I want to do, because I feel like I won't get back to them, or I'll forget them. But like I said, I'm trying to be more organized. I have a planner, and I schedule my days out every day now. And right now with APH, I plan on reprogramming my life, so I'll be a little more organized and focused after the program, because I don't want to go back to smoking weed every day. There's more to life than that. My friends deserve better. My family deserves better. And most importantly, I deserve better than to waste my life. Not to say that there isn't a place, or isn't a time and place for weed, because 311 showed this summer I won't be smoking. I plan to be sober for the next 2 years or so, or at least until I'm 25, till my brain fully develops and I'm healthy enough, or until I see signs of improvement. So I plan on staying sober, but there is a time and place to enjoy your substances once in a while, as long as you can keep it under control. And right now, I haven't been able to keep it under control. And some of the content on this channel has been inconsistent or lacking, or my contributions haven't been fair to my co-creators of DBW Universe. So I'd like to take the time to apologize to you, the viewer, and to apologize to them, in hopes that I will be more focused and more organized and plan to create better content, because this channel will flourish. And I believe the ideas we have, and I believe the shows we want to do, I believe that they will be worth something one day, and I believe that we can build this channel up, and we need your support. And down the line, we will be asking for maybe some contributions. We've been discussing that. I don't know. I think Kenny made a face off camera. I wasn't really looking, but now it's time to let all of you guys know. You can follow me on social media at David Caskey on Instagram, at David Caskey on Twitter. You can add me on Facebook at David Caskey. You can add me on Snapchat at David Caskey. You can follow DBW Universe on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at DBW Universe. I will be making a Snapchat for DBW Universe very, very soon, so you can look forward to that. And most importantly, you can swipe right to me on Tinder at David Caskey. And I want you all to have a great day and stay healthy.
And swipe up to me on Tinder. That's a super like.
Perfect.
True.